Ooh, why we choose difficult partners? Oh god. We do it subconsciously. If you're in a situation, you come out of a situation, or you can't get over a situation, regardless, we're always, when we've come out of something bad, we always ask ourselves like, why me? What did I do? And then you meet someone else and that might not work, and you're like, oh my god, here we go again, what am I doing? And for me, like my video, like I described in my Why I Stopped Dating video, like it just became the normal to keep meeting the same stranger with a different name and a different face, and I never understood why. And I kind of picked up on the video I did where I said I'm dating my dad, where like I realised the qualities that are in my dad in the minute I pick, but I've only just realised with among self-analysation and self-reflecting, like I always do with myself. Very important to do that with yourself, to be honest. But I've only just realised that I've just realised a lot. So basically, love. The beautiful four-letter word could be the most hurtful thing you've experienced. It could be the most beautiful thing you've experienced. That derives from your upbringing. So the first people you're in love with are your parents. The first love you should experience, the first person that you could ever fall in love with should be your mum and your dad. And then you're a product of your environment. So you see what goes on around you. You see your parents' relationship, you see how they act towards each other, how they embrace you. If you're in an abusive household and you're used to certain behaviours from a man or a woman, or how your dad was treating your mum or your mum was treating your dad, if you've been exposed to infidelity, if your household was just like that, then there's a lot of things that you probably told yourself. Some people tell themselves that they're not going to be in this, they're not going to be someone like their dad, they're not going to be someone like their mum, they're not going to be someone like their parents, you know, when they find someone's going to be different. And some people, because that's all they know, they follow those footsteps. And I can understand certain behaviours deriving from what your upbringing has been and the people around you, and the lack of love or the love that you've experienced from your mum or your dad. Even down to just saying I love you and them acknowledging you like that. If you've never had that, it's going to be hard for you to express that to someone else. So if you've come from a troubled household, and let's not say troubled, but if you've come from a household where you've lacked love, where you've lacked attention, where you've not felt like you're enough, where you've always had to prove yourself to your dad, to your mum, and education-wise to everyone else, or where you just don't ever, where you wasn't brought up feeling that you, yourself, as you are, was just enough to get you through life. You're beautiful, you're going to achieve whatever you need to achieve because you're great. No matter what you do, I'm proud of you, I love you. If you've never had that, seeing your dad treat your mum like a queen, your mum adoring your dad, a loving family relationship, it's going to be hard for you to move in life attracting that, because you're naturally going to attract the bad things that happen. So subconsciously, when I'm going through people and I'm dating and then everything all ends the same, like I've accepted being I've literally outright accepted being an option. There was a time that I was seeing someone, I've seen a few people in my life that I was seeing other people, and they're very open about it, and I was like, it's fine, whatever, and I let that go on for like months and months. And it was only to the last time, ending of last year, I was like, I can't do this again. Like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve, if someone needs to be in their process of finding something, and finding love or finding the one or whatever, and if something was meant to be, I wouldn't need to be among many. I got comfortable, being the choice but never being a priority. I got comfortable just being being there and them showing me attention no matter whoever was there. So that was because my dad never made me a priority, nor my mum. He always chose drink, and he always chose infidelity, and he was promiscuous, and then he was just abusive, and if he wasn't there, he was in prison for drink driving. Like, there was always something. And I noticed that, and I noticed how my mum was. And my mum's such a loving woman, but there's times where she has been very weak. And the amount of how she spent 16 years with my dad, and she went through all of that and she accepted that. And there's no way that I can't grow up not inheriting certain traits and not accepting bad behaviour. Now, I allowed it subconsciously because I didn't know that I was allowing it. I didn't know that I was doing anything wrong. I just knew that I was being treated in a way that I didn't deserve to be treated. But it's like it's naturally you're the product. You're now the product of your environment, and you're so used to bad behavior. You're so used to seeing what you're seeing, and you're used to seeing forgiveness of bad behavior over and over again. And it's so funny because as much as you try to be contrary to what you see, you end up being exactly who you don't want to be. And I ended up being weak, and I ended up accepting that because I didn't value myself. And I didn't value myself because I didn't know how to value myself. So the only way that I knew how to value myself, the only way that I could place value on myself was from the attention that people were giving to me. So if people were giving me attention, that was instantly validation that they liked me and they were open to get whatever they want from me because they've shown interest in me. Now, where does that come from? That comes from the lack of attention that I got from my dad. And that lack of attention I got from my dad, I saw out in every single man that I've seen. So every time I've just given someone a bit of my time, every time that I've just I've responded to a hello, and I've just gone on all those dates. That time when I first come out, I was going on all those dates. Like, it was, I felt like I couldn't say no. Like, I couldn't. How can I turn down a man? Like, how can I say no? I should be privileged that they even want to take me out on a date. I should be privileged that they're giving me their time. And why would I be privileged for someone else giving me their time when they're giving it to everyone else? So what is special about that? It's very important, right, to if I could live from now, if I could have a reason for living, I would want to inspire someone not to ever give themselves freely, because you're so valuable. We as humans are so valuable. We're so precious, and not everyone deserves you, and not everyone deserves that vulnerability. And they don't deserve it because not a lot of people who treat us bad, and what we perceive as bad, and what we know we don't deserve, and why we allow what we allow. But a lot of people treat you like that even though they know you're good. They don't know any better. They don't know how to treat quality. They don't know how to handle quality. They don't know how to put you first, how to love, how to cherish, how to nurture, how to be faithful, how to be loyal. If someone is easily taken and they don't treat you right, and it's easy for people's eyes to stray left, right and centre, you don't need to take responsibility for that. I don't care if you're withholding sex, you're not cooking, you're not doing anything, because it's a choice that people make. If you want to be here, you would be here. If you want to leave, then leave. Now, if someone is already being promiscuous and there's infidelity everywhere, like, that's their choice. Why do we like keeping people, trying to keep people that don't want to be kept? And I feel like we get ourselves in this rut with people of accepting their bad behaviour, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that we don't deserve to be treated like this, but giving chance after chance after chance, because there's an element of people that we think that we can change, you know, because of what was lacked in showing you. See, now, a lot of us that have upbringings like that, our parents will never take responsibility for the bad things that they did. And you learn to just forget about it, but it will still always be there. There's still people that always refer to their past and all that stuff, but for me, I just like, whatever, my dad is my dad. But I kind of was, instead of the lack of the forgiveness that I never got of him, I would be giving that chance to every single person to redeem themselves. So it's like every single man I'm dealing with, I'm giving a chance to that man to redeem himself, you know, over and over and over again, even though I know it's bad behaviour. I couldn't tell my dad it's wrong, but I could tell you it's wrong. But as soon as you say you're sorry, it's okay. And it's not okay because you don't feel fulfilled when they've apologised, but you're still forgiving them, because there's an element of being alone, and there's an element of you feeling alone, and the attention that you did not get that comes into your adulthood, and you have now a fear of that because you're remembering something in your childhood. But it's not like that. When someone treats you bad, if someone is not giving you the love you deserve, if someone is taking you for granted, your love for granted, if someone is being promiscuous, there is no excuse for that. If you can forgive and you can forget and you can leave it alone. I will never forgive someone that is promiscuous, because that means that you was easily took. So if you was easily took, that means you was never meant to be mine in the first place.